Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. Well, it's finally done. Well, it took 94 days. But at least it's done now. It's the next step in a massive project that we have planned that's going to be coming up. We have one more step that nothing should happen with. I probably shouldn't say that because every step of the way it's been one big hassle. Next week we'll be putting in some plans with the county. We're going to be building a building. About 10 by 40 feet. A salt box roof so we can put our solar panels on top, but we're going to have about 400 square feet of storage. I'm really glad that we were able to find the sawmill that we're using because that will save us a ton of money. Right now, the lumber that I've been buying from the sawmill is 1/3 the price of the big box store, and it's better lumber. I bet you wonder what we're going to be doing besides building a shed and putting some solar panels on top. Well, I think we'll be building another shed also. And the question is, are we going to build it or are we going to buy it? We have to figure that out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications because I think we're going to be doing a lot more stuff. We have more things to go do today. We already spent an hour and a half driving down here, an hour with a bunch of paperwork. We're going to go get a bite to eat. I hope. Have you ever wondered how much work can go into getting one simple piece of paper taken care of with a county recorder? Well, it's pretty interesting. We had a specific document associated with our property that said we had a mobile home on it. Now the mobile home's been gone for many, many years. I filed the paperwork with the assessor's office, who was supposed to file it with the county recorder. For reasons that I don't know, they didn't file the paper with the county. And there begins the genesis of our whole long sojourn of 6 weeks of dealing with county and dealing with inspectors and hassling back and forth. Well, how do you go about getting a mobile home removed from your property? In our area, you file an affidavit of unfixture. Yeah, it's kind of complicated, but all they're saying is you took it off your property. Well, I did that. The problem was that the title company that was looking at our paperwork said, there's still a mobile home on that property. No, there wasn't. I arranged for people to talk to the county assessor, and the county assessor carefully and calmly and completely explained that this is the way that my county records the removal of a mobile home. It wasn't good enough, and unfortunately nobody would connect me up with the escrow officer at the title company. That meant that the escrow officer was telling somebody someplace else what they needed. And that person was passing it on to yet another person, who passed it on to yet another person, who passed it on to me. If you've ever played telephone, you know exactly what happens. It kind of gets there and it kind of doesn't. So I spent weeks and weeks and weeks of time driving from our home, hour and a half one way to the county recorder, do the paperwork, and then come back. A few days later, I'd find out it wasn't good enough. How did I solve that problem? Well, I figured out who the title company was that was looking at our property. I went to the local office for that title company and I said, here's my problem. Do you have any idea about what your title company requires? The office manager, who is very skillful in these things, said, well, here's how you do it. And she pulled out the same form that I'd been filing for weeks. And I told her, well, it didn't work. She said, I know somebody in that other office. I'll call them and find out. Well, it took her half an hour talking with her colleague on the phone to figure out what document they actually wanted. She didn't have a copy of it. She had no record of that form. The Phoenix office sent a copy to her at her request, and she gave me the copy. Well, it wasn't exactly what we wanted to file, but it was close. I found another form for another county online, printed it out, filled it out, and filed that with the county recorder. Then we had to wait 7 days for it to appear for the title company to look at. It's a hassle. It's maddening. It cost a lot of time and a lot of money, because driving 130 miles round trip each time is not cheap. It's not cheap in cash. It's not cheap in time. Well, I hope that explains a little bit about what's gone on. Oh, by the way, I sprained my ankle. I sprained my ankle very badly 2 months ago, and it hasn't been getting better. Well, it wasn't getting better until a couple of days ago, when I bought a specific ankle brace that I haven't used before, and I tried it. I've stayed off my foot. I've been using the brace, and it's getting better. Now we'll see if it holds up over the weekend. We're going to visit some friends.